Did you make Kate cry?
No, the reverse happened.
One of her biggest regrets, she says,
is one of my biggest regrets. When you have been lied about for a series of years and you know that it isn't true.
Oprah Winfrey says she feels partly responsible.
Kate was called Waity Katie, waiting to marry William.
Some of the things that were revealed in that interview came as a surprise to me.
Millions sat glued to their screens as the unthinkable happened. Oprah Winfrey, America's most powerful talk show host, turned the cameras not on herself, not on Meghan, but on Catherine, the future queen. With trembling words and a heavy heart, she issued a public apology that no one saw coming. In that moment, the narrative flipped, and Meghan Markle's glossy version of events began to shatter, exposing cracks that had been hidden for years.
The most important thing for them, before I do any interview, I have a conversation with whoever I'm interviewing and ask, tell me what your intention is, and I will tell you what my intention is, and let's see if we can align those two, because I don't want you to finish an interview and at the end of the interview say, I wish I had said.
It began as quiet chatter behind the scenes. Word spread that Oprah Winfrey had been rethinking the explosive 2021 interview with Harry and Meghan. That was the night jaw-dropping claims shook the royal family. Everything from shocking remarks about skin color to bitter family rifts. But now, in 2025, the tide has turned. Insiders revealed Oprah isn't exactly proud of the fallout. She confided to friends that fueling a storm of division was never her true intention.
Saying she, quote, deeply regrets the royal racist controversy and is very sorry I left the royals. Now, what do you make of that? All of these regrets, isn't it too late?
Since Harry and Meghan stepped away, the royal family has faced non-stop attention. Through all of it, Catherine stood out as a symbol of strength. She dealt with health challenges, family responsibilities, and constant tabloid pressure, yet never lost her calm. People close to Oprah say this deeply impressed her. Seeing Catherine face everything from her cancer battle to royal duties without anger or complaints is what finally moved Oprah to speak out.
I heard about Oprah wanting to distance herself from Meghan, so what do we make of her being seen in public again with the Duchess after such a long time apart?
Well, I don't know how she got there, but I've read all over the place that Meghan has said they are not very friendly.
For years, Oprah was the biggest voice in the media. If she backed a story, people believed it. If she gave someone her stage, their reputation could change overnight. Meghan Markle knew this in 2021 when she sat down in Oprah's garden. She came ready with her version of events, and the world listened because Oprah was the one asking the questions. That interview wasn't just talk. It shook culture everywhere. But now, things have changed. The same woman Meghan counted on has turned around. Oprah didn't just pull away, she went live on air and said she regrets the whole thing. She admitted she should have pressed Meghan harder, checked the facts, and not simply let her play the victim. For Oprah, someone so powerful saying she was wrong is rare.
I do not get into people's family matters, and everybody who has experienced some challenges in their families with in-laws or brothers or sisters knows how difficult some of those situations can be. And I'm sure that, for the royal family, it's no different. And nobody consults me about their family business. So I try to stay out of people's family business.
The impact was instant. Social media lit up within seconds. Clips of Oprah's words spreading like wildfire. She explained she never meant to create division and regretted not digging deeper into some of Meghan's claims, like the supposed feud over wedding details that later didn't add up. Royal watchers called it a turning point, while commentators noted how rare it was for someone of Oprah's stature to admit faults so openly. For Catherine, the apology wasn't just personal, it was public recognition of the grace she had shown all along. And for Meghan, it was the unraveling of a carefully built story, as the very platform that once elevated her now cast doubt on her version of events.
Wait, the jaw-dropping moment, the first one, about the color of the baby's skin.
Yeah.
And you asked Harry about it when he came out. He did not tell you who it was. Harry still is choosing to protect the identity of whoever that was.
Yes, and he did not share the identity with me, but he wanted to make sure that I knew, and if I had an opportunity to share it, that it was not his grandmother nor his grandfather. were a part of those conversations.
The real shock wasn't just the apology, it was that Oprah was the one delivering it. Her words carried weight, and this time, she didn't hold back. Staring straight into the camera, she revealed that Meghan had not only misled the public, she had deceived her too. The delivery was sharp, stripped of any gloss, as Oprah confessed she had been manipulated into pushing a story that fell apart under the truth.
But now someone with a sharp set of eyes has noticed perhaps a mistruth in the Oprah interview. Here it is.
She has a blanket that sits across her knees for warmth, and it was chilly. And she was like, Meghan, come on, and put it over my knees as well.
And she told a story later in her Oprah Winfrey interview in 2021 where she talked about the moment that the Queen was more like a grandma to her because she saw that Meghan may have been cold and put a blanket over her legs as well.
Oprah's words cut deeper because of who she is. Her reputation is built on trust, so calling out Meghan's deception was no small statement. It showed Meghan wasn't just bending the truth, she was reckless enough to turn even Oprah into a pawn. That kind of admission, broadcast live, was less a correction and more a brutal takedown. For Meghan, it marked the point where her story stopped being believed.
So we have in tandem the conversation of he won't be given security, he's not going to be given a title, and also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
What? There's a conversation with you?
With Harry.
About how dark your baby is going to be?
Potentially, and what that would mean or look like.
It's unbelievable how she created this whole racial firestorm for the royal family. She sat with Oprah. She clearly injected the issue of race. They were concerned about the color of my baby's skin. Turned out to be BS, among her other racism claims. It got so bad, and it turned out to be so untrue.
By this point, it wasn't just an apology, it was a takedown of Meghan's biggest claims. Oprah began with the infamous bridesmaid dress drama, the story that tabloids used to cast Catherine as the cold villain. On live TV, she corrected the record. Both women were emotional, and Meghan had bent the truth to suit her narrative.
Did you make Kate cry?
No.
Was there a situation where she might have cried or she could have cried?
No, the reverse happened.
With one sentence, Oprah wiped away years of stories that painted Catherine as heartless. She then tackled the racism claims, making clear it was a lone comment taken out of context, not the deep-rooted prejudice Meghan had implied. That single correction shattered one of Meghan's most powerful sympathy angles, leaving audiences stunned at how far the narrative had been stretched. And Oprah wasn't finished yet.
In the Oprah interview, you accuse members of your family of racism. You don't even...
The British press said that.
Right.
Did Meghan ever mention that they were racist?
She said there were troubling comments about
there was concern about his skin colour.
Right. Wouldn't you describe that as essentially racist?
I wouldn't. The realization that the way that they speak about her and the way they treat her is incredibly relatable to everybody else of colour.
Harry says headlines like these were examples of the racism Meghan faced, writing it was, quote, dog whistle racism and the glaring, vulgar, in-your-face racism. But he made a distinction between unconscious bias and racism in the monarchy.
Oprah then laid out another bombshell. The palace hadn't abandoned Meghan at all. Behind the scenes, support systems were offered, counseling, guidance, and real attempts to help her adjust. Yet Meghan, Oprah explained, spun those gestures into weapons to feed a victim story. The takeaway was clear: this wasn't just exaggeration, it was manipulation. By the end, Meghan's narrative wasn't simply weakened, it was dismantled piece by piece, with Oprah delivering the blow like a surgeon.
And Meghan would have been angry if we had, that she was going to be Meghan Sussex, because she said on Oprah Winfrey 4 years ago, almost to the day, and said that the royal family almost stole her name. Like, she lost this, she lost that, I almost lost my name. So we were under the impression that feminist Meghan was proud to keep her last name Markle.
Imagine that for over a period of months and years, and you know that it isn't true. I think...
As Catherine fought her toughest battles in private, Meghan was busy sharing polished photos and promoting her lifestyle brand. The difference between the two women was hard to miss. Oprah pointed it out clearly. Catherine came across as strong and inspiring, while Meghan seemed focused only on attention. Catherine didn't even need to answer back. Her quiet dignity spoke louder than Meghan's endless self-promotion. For Meghan, the real damage wasn't just Oprah's regret. It was watching Catherine become the woman the world admired, while her own image collapsed.
Oprah Winfrey interview turned Netflix original series, Harry and Meghan, turned Spare. And somebody might say, well, Spare's Prince Harry's, but I'm pretty sure that Meghan Markle gave him permission to put her personal text messages with Catherine, the Princess of Wales, in ink in his book. Otherwise, we would have bigger problems at home. So I feel like she's behind all of it.
I think they should do what they feel is best for them and for their family. That's what I think. That's what the bottom line, it comes down to, what do you feel like is the right thing for you? Okay? Yeah, they haven't asked me.
Oprah's statement flipped the script in a way Meghan could never control. The woman who once gave her the stage was now saying the story didn't add up, and that changed everything. Suddenly, Meghan couldn't reshape the narrative or brush it off as bias. It was coming from the person who had once stood beside her. Longtime supporters felt duped, while skeptics felt justified. That shift in trust hit harder than any headline, leaving Meghan with no ground to stand on.
With Prince Harry and Meghan Markle in a very revealing interview last year. It made a lot of news. Well, I was in Toronto this past weekend doing a story with Oprah about Sidney Poitier's documentary at the Toronto Film Fest. More on that a little bit later on. But of course, the conversation about the Queen came up, and I asked her about her thoughts about that. And because every time I see a story about Oprah, Harry, and Meghan, it's bombshell interview, bombshell interview. So I wanted to know, what do you think about the characterization, Oprah, about bombshell interview?
I was as surprised by the bombshell as everybody else. I was doing an interview to offer them a platform to tell their story about why they left. And that was my number one intention, was just clarity on why did you leave? And so some of the things that were revealed in that interview came as a surprise to me, and those surprises are now referred to as bombshell.
The blow landed at the worst possible time. Meghan had just started polishing a new image online, teasing her return with glossy posts and lifestyle branding. But before the plan could take off, Oprah's confession cut through the noise. The spotlight Meghan tried to reclaim instantly swung back to her past, with headlines replaying her contradictions instead of promoting her comeback. And in the background, Catherine's quiet strength kept winning admiration, making Meghan's struggle to stay relevant look even more hollow.
So Meghan kind of just tends to jump on whatever's trendy at the time. So if everybody's talking about Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop, of course Meghan wants to be the next Gwyneth Paltrow.
I need a lifestyle brand of creams and supplements. Gwyneth Paltrow has Goop, Kourtney Kardashian has Poosh, and Jamie Lee Curtis has Poogert. Now I've got mine, Meg Goo, celebrating the sexy earth goddess in all of us.
Back in 2021, Meghan used Oprah's platform as her weapon, the stage that gave her story global power. Now, that same platform has turned against her, smashing the credibility it once built. This wasn't misfortune, it was karma playing out in plain sight. Meghan believed Oprah's backing would protect her forever, but the confession left her more exposed than ever before. Catherine never needed to fight back, the palace never needed to scheme. Meghan's undoing came from within, carried out by the one voice she couldn't control. To many, that wasn't just a reversal, it was the ultimate betrayal.
Everybody who has experienced some challenges in their families with in-laws or brothers or sisters knows how difficult some of those situations can be. And I'm sure that, for the royal family, it's no different. And nobody consults me about their family business. So I try to stay out of people's family business.
If you found this breakdown eye-opening, hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more royal revelations.